Hey guys! So this week on Nostalgic Friday, we are going to be talking about cartoons that completely lost their touch after going on for way too long. So yeah, so I got a few on here, so I thought, hey, why not we take a look? Now the first show that's on here is The Fairly OddParents. Now, first things first, I think we can all know why, because, later on they introduced new characters to the show, and some of the other, old characters from the past, ended up, disappearing later on. Although, I do want to give you guys my honest opinion. Now, when Poof, first came into the picture, I didn't actually mind. I mean, sure, I know there's a whole thing where fans say that if a baby character is introduced to a show, the baby doesn't really do anything, which, yes, I know. And I can completely understand, but my opinion, Poof was okay. I'm like, okay. And of course, later on we got Sparky, which, same thing about Poof, well, he was okay. Now, I know. A lot of people didn't really like him when he first came. But I thought it was okay because I've actually seen some episodes with him in it. Like, even his introduction episode. But yeah, I didn't really watch a lot of, episodes featuring him. But of course, let's not forget the one character who is, of course, the most Mary Sue-ish character. And, oh my god. Who probably had, the worst reason to ever get fairies, even though she had a completely okay life. And that is Chloe Carmichael. Ugh. Now, I kind of thought maybe I'd be okay with Chloe when she was introduced, but pretty much, well, when I saw a review, and to be fair, I never saw an actual episode with Chloe in it, because, I pretty much grew out of TV by the time, by the time she came along. I tell ya, when I watched a review, which happened to be the episode, which was her episode introduction, I immediately was thinking, I don't like this. Like, this is not the Fairly OddParents I grew up watching as a kid. Like, literally, ugh. I do not like Chloe. Like, ugh. I mean, I was okay with Poof. I was okay with Sparky, but I'm not okay with Chloe. Writers, seriously, Nickelodeon. All you care about is your stupid money, and all you want to do is make views. You probably should have canceled the Fairly OddParents a long time ago. Besides, it's their fault that the Fairly OddParents are bad now. We're bad now because Butch Hartman let them do. They had to let Butch Hartman do it. Like, they basically asked, hey, Butch, make more characters for this show. And he's like, okay. But thank God, after 10 seasons, it finally ended. So, yeah. I mean, it had to die sooner or later. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, so this next show, well, I've seen a ton of reviews and people, somehow saying that it's, gotten bad. And I can totally understand because, well, I never got the chance to watch this show because my mom thought it wasn't appropriate for me. But, nowadays, my stepfather, he watches it. And, yeah, I'll sometimes see him watching it. And here's one thing. He doesn't really care if it's bad. Obviously because he's not a geek like I am and doesn't really care about any behind the scenes stuff like I do. And that show is Family Guy. Yeah, now I understand. I mean, it is pretty much starting to get bad. And although whenever I mentioned it to my stepfather, he pretty much said, I don't care. In fact, when I found out that Cleveland's voice actor was, gonna get replaced, I actually mentioned this to him, and he says, I don't care. Yeah, my stepfather's not a geek, like I've said. So, yeah, I have to say, some of the episodes, I don't really know. I mean, every time I take a peek at what he's watching, I'm like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. Probably because I never really had an experience with watching it. So, yeah. Okay, next show that I've actually watched. And, well, I'm actually currently binge watching it on Disney Plus. And I know I've given it a positive review in one of my very first Nostalgic Friday videos, and that's The Simpsons. Now, I know for a fact there are some people who don't like, you know, the recent Simpsons, well, I haven't actually seen any recent Simpsons episodes, because right now I'm on season 1, like the very first season of The Simpsons. Although I'm not quite sure how I might feel about it. Maybe I won't mind, or maybe I will pretty much see the hatred. I'm not too sure. Although I know for a fact a lot of people say one of the very worst episodes of The Simpsons is The Principal and the Pauper, and a lot of people say that's how The Simpsons went downhill. But for some reason I know it can maybe still be watchable, but you know, here's the thing. Every time I see, like, you know, some like maybe clips from newer episodes, I do still laugh for some reason. Like, is bad humor just my thing? Or is unlaughable humor just my thing? Although, yeah. But yeah, I understand. The show, it went downhill, but it's probably never gonna stop anytime soon, because it's been going on since 1989. And who knows what may happen in the future. And the very last show is Arthur. Now, I did watch this show growing up, like I'm sure a lot of us did. But now I actually remember stumbling upon a top 10 worst PBS Kid episodes of their shows, and one of them have to be an episode from the recent Arthur, episode and I tell you, seeing that episode, I'm like, oh, wow. I see this show has changed, you know, since I last watched it. I mean, because, you know, I grew up and I'm not really watching a lot of TV as of lately. But, yeah. Although, I mean, there's a lot. I know but, you know, there is one thing. Bad shows, maybe, you know, don't you think maybe it's time, maybe you let a show go every now and then again, because I know you just want to make money, but I think studios should really have them end by the time, you know, they start getting bad, because it just isn't gonna work out like this. I mean, really. So, yeah. So anyways, that's all I gotta say, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.